Good afternoon, good morning, whatever it is, wherever you are. I'm going to try to do this in one shot, in one video for Thursday and Friday. So if you need to review Friday, that's fine. So it might be a little bit lengthier on Thursday, depending on when you're watching this. If you're not watching in class, hopefully you're accessing on Classroom. I previewed most of this information on Wednesday before I left, but I know some people forget. I went kind of fast through a lot of dizzying array and talked a lot. So here's your preview of what you're doing. It's actually pretty straightforward. We're focusing mostly on the colonization of Africa and Bismarck, Berlin Conference, and then we'll sneak back. We'll start sneaking into the Sepoy Rebellion, and a few odds and ends to finish as well. So enjoy my absence, I suppose, but still need to be productive in the correct way. All right, so I'm gonna hide my fat face and roll with Berlin Conference cartoons map on IM1. Oh, let's start about finishing the. Let's look at finishing the motives for imperialism. Uh, the motives for imperialism pair deck. So let's go back to Classroom and remember that you need to finish all of the slides in the motives for imperialism for completion, because one of them, as I told you, is this question right here. How two motives are related to each other using those images in the pair deck that we were working on. Okay? The other one, the different types of European imperial rule, and give examples of each one, and an explanation of direct and indirect rule. So that is an explanation of direct and indirect rule. So the British were more direct, and indirect would be like the protectorates and the sphere of influence. That would be more indirect. And the British controlling like India or the 13 colonies, that would be an example of more direct. So again, and as I'm putting out the test and assessment practice quiz is there, and that is going to be Tuesday. So first thing, if you need to finish IM5, do so in the notebook. If you've not finished the overall big picture using this simple slideshow on slide 14 and 15 about the colonization from exploration to the to how we get to the British being the strongest, you need to do that slide 14 and 15. If your numbers are off, there's some imperialism in India slides that we deleted. And there were some new imperialism in India slides that we deleted. So if you're noticing extra slides in yours, it's because we deleted a couple of slides on Wednesday. Perspectives on imperialism in India, it's called. We deleted those. All right, to the meat and chunk of what we're doing, slide 17 through 19 for Thursday. So again, I didn't really. One thing I want to point out that I didn't point out in class. At the bottom, look at this. This is King Leopold of Belgium cutting up the Congo, and this is the Russians representing a bear, and Wilhelm, the emperor or king of of the newly united Germany. It says win the People's Eve. So this is the Berlin Conference. Why is the Congo being represented as a pumpkin? I mean, what do you typically do with a pumpkin, right? I mean, what do you do with a pumpkin at Halloween, or what do you do with a pumpkin at excuse me, what do you do with a pumpkin at I need to erase all of this. What do you do with a pumpkin at Halloween? You carve it up, right? So that's why it's being depicted as this. What are they doing to Africa? How will the African geography be affected by European imperialism? Now, again, I gave you some of this when we went through some of the notes on the partition of Africa, and when we were doing this down on slide 21 and 22 on Wednesday. The other one, looking at the asking you to just take a read on the Berlin Conference and the Scramble for Africa and how this was done peacefully, but yet without any sort of regard for the Africans. And so how would that affect the African geography? And the same here. Did this, who controlled most of the land? Look at the map. This is a little bit old, but who controlled most of the land? Obviously, you can probably tell the French, British. But then, did it respect naval tribal boundaries? And how could these borders lead to the loss of tribal identity, right? That is for Thursday. That is for Thursday. Okay, and I can do checkpoints. Let me get my fat face up here so you can see me. I can do checkpoints, even though I'm later on in the evening. So keep that in mind as a potential checkpoint, even though I'm not here. Um, so that's worth noting. So 18, 17, 18, 19, 20 for Friday. On Friday, you're going to read about King Leopold and the Belgian Congo's private control of the Congo, and the atrocities that were committed there in the name of meeting rubber demand, as the automobile and horseless carriage were starting to ramp up. To complement that, on Friday, you're going to look at IM2, the Ed puzzle on the atrocities in the Belgian Congo. Now, this one I will tell you flat out is a short answer. The answers aren't multiple choice. You have to type them out, so it'll take a little longer. It's about a 10-minute video, but the Ed puzzle video, if it opens up, I will show you. If it opens up, yep, imperialism in the Congo gives a description of King Leopold, and you see these questions are open ended. So there's that. And that's Friday. The other thing, which I have kind of which hasn't been posted yet, is the imperialism in India, which you should be able to get a finish on or get a start on, and it's very straightforward. Imperialism in India. This is the story of how Great Britain is going to become a direct colonizer of India. They were running things when they were selling the opium to China, and they're running things in India through a company. The sepoys are soldiers, and they rebel. And all next week we're going to look at this extensively. But this is a quick reading and multiple choice and matching quiz, which you can answer as many times as you need to get the correct answers based on this very simple overall overview of Indian nationalism in India. So this also should be done on Friday. Again, that's one slide, one very simple slide in 60 minutes, and a pretty relatively short Ed puzzle, and that quiz. That should be a fair deal. If you want to work ahead and start getting into slide 20 on Thursday, because I previewed this, by all means do so. And again, focus on what this video says, what I'm telling you to do, so that we're ready to go on Monday. I'm not going to hear about, I didn't know. I don't make these videos in the middle of the night for fun. I know it annoys you, but it is what it is. I just want to make sure that the messages are out there. I don't like being gone, but I'm learning ways to torture you more with technology. I know that excites you all. All right, I will see you all on Monday. I will respond to a few messages at night if it's something earth-shattering, urgent. Otherwise, I will see you all on Monday.